Master.
This kind of love I never see. But when I go feel give you, you know I reach. They don't try me many times, they don't fit. You lay my side, you know leave me. Hey, hey, oh. Right now, body they move me, and now you be the reason I cannot deny the feeling. You get positive, they do me. Now you give me the beauty, and I know if you believe, oh, I cannot deny the feeling. You make me say, hallelujah, Hosanna, hallelujah, Hosanna. Just want to say thank you, just want to say thank you, just want to say thank you, just want to say thank you. Just want to say thank you, just want to say thank you, just want to say thank you.
Professor Eli Pikarsky, Professor Ronit Calderon Margalit, Professor Alfredo Moabia, Ambassador Yossi Gal, Ambassador Yaakov Kedar, Professor Guy Arpaz, Sir Trevor Pears, Ms. Dina Gidron, dear teachers, faculty, colleagues, families, guests, my mother, father, my husband, distinguished members of the diplomatic corps, donors and their representatives, alumni and friends watching the broadcast, and, of course, our dear graduates on Zoom. Good afternoon and welcome to the graduation ceremony of the International Master of Public Health program at the Brown School of Public Health and Community Medicine of the Hebrew University of Jerusalem and Hadassah Medical Organization. My name is Chagit Hochner, and I have the honor of directing the IMPH program. This year, we're celebrating the graduation of the 50th IMPH class. 21 graduates from 13 countries will be joining over 1,200 others from over 100 countries as part of the IMPH alumni family. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome the 50th graduating class of 2024-2025.
Chisenga Msuka, Sophia Chimbi, Yango Elizabeth, Dinain Dudune, Fekadu Bayaben, Milkias Haptegabriel, Sanuela Awachwi, Fortunate Ainem Babazi, Leon Josiah, Ronald Combe, Shira Neville, Katerina Soltis, Go Dinwa Esther Eleonor, Yosef Asefa, Sa Isaac Davy Jr., Dris Davy Duiteka, Nema Dashina, Richard Kojo, Guide Mary Andy, Sausengat, Joseph Niero.
How much we miss you guys. Dear graduates, you arrived in Israel nearly a year ago, knowing that a war was still ongoing. You have experienced threats that even us Israelis have not experienced. Yet all 21 of our accepted candidates are with us today, celebrating this remarkable achievement. Your trust and that of your families throughout the entire challenging year in our ability to safeguard your well-being is something for which we are profoundly grateful. You arrived as individuals with diverse professional and cultural backgrounds, and you transformed into a cohesive group, united by the common language of public health. Throughout this year, you have learned to share, listen, and collaborate, all necessary skills for public health professionals. The unique challenges you faced this year have also revealed your extraordinary resilience and unwavering commitment to your goal of becoming public health professionals. On this significant occasion, we can proudly declare, you've made it. Congratulations. During their course of studies here in Jerusalem, the IMPH students have come to appreciate that our school and the IMPH family have two institutional parents, the Hebrew University of Jerusalem and the Hadassah Medical Organization. We are grateful to both institutions for their ongoing support and for providing an environment that is both academically stimulating and physically safe and comfortable. I would like to call upon Professor Eli Pikarsky, Dean of the Faculty of Medicine of the Hebrew University of Jerusalem, to congratulate our graduate.
Dear graduates, colleagues, and friends, it is humbling to talk here after seeing the beautiful landscapes that you all come from, your beautiful faces, and your inspiring presence and wishes. Today we celebrate not only your academic achievements, but your readiness to shape a healthier, more just world. Public health is more than a profession. It is a calling to serve humanity. So what is humanity? Over 2,000 years ago, in ancient Athens, the great statesman Pericles spoke of a society whose highest purpose was to create lovers of beauty and lovers of wisdom, people devoted to the common good. He and his peers set forth values that shapen both humanity and humanness, passing a guiding torch that still lights our and your path today. Let us all remain committed to those timeless Athenian ideals, reason, justice, and the relentless pursuit of the good, as we carry that torch forward in our own communities. As we mark this joyous occasion, we also share a collective hope for the swift end of the war here in Israel, for the safe return of the hostages, and for the healing and recovery for all who are wounded on every side of the conflict. May the coming year bring peace, health, and renewal to all peoples. Graduates, your journey here in Jerusalem has connected minds and hearts from every continent. You came from diverse health systems and cultures, yet you share a single commitment to turn knowledge into action and action into better lives for the many. As you return to your communities, remember Pericles' vision and that of Athens, ancient Athens, that humanity's true destiny is to advance the good. Let science guide you, compassion sustain you, and courage inspire you to confront the challenges of inequity, disease, and climate that lie ahead. Congratulations, class of 2025, the 50th class of IMPH, which we are also very proud of. May your careers illuminate the world with health, justice, and hope. Thank you so much to both the students, the teachers, and all our supporters. Toda. And Shana Tova.
Thank you so much, Eli, for your continuous support of the IMPH and the Brown School. Representing on our other parental institution, the Hadassah Medical Organization, is Professor Yaniv Scherer, Director of Enkarem Hospital Hadassah, who is joining us remotely.
Hello, good afternoon and good morning and good evening to you and wherever you are. I'm happy and excited to congratulate you, the graduates of the class of 24-25 of the International Master of Public Health Program. This program represents one of the highlights and the most prestigious programs of the School of Health and Faculty of Medicine of the Hebrew University, together with Hadassah Medical Organization. This ceremony is exciting every year, but this year is specifically because of the 15th anniversary, but also, as was mentioned earlier, this is not a regular year. You have started it, and unfortunately, we are still now in a war situation and still facing many challenges for the hospital, for the entire nation, but also on public health issues. And I'm very proud that Hadassah Medical Organization, together with the university, took major roles in the treatment of those public health challenges, including the treatment of wounded patients, both soldiers and civilians. And I'm not talking only on the war that goes on with Gaza, but we also receive patients from all around the different frontiers, being in the north of Israel, or patients that were sent even now from Syria, those that were injured beyond the borders, but also from some terror activities that, as you have heard, unfortunately took place twice last week in our region and referred to our hospital, to Hadassah and Keren. But in addition, we also supported during the start of the war mainly, but also now, communities around the hospital that were actually moving to our region, including many that were evacuated from their homes in the south and the north of Israel, and caring also for the preventive medicine and supporting those psychological and physiological needs of those populations. I wish I could join you in person. I really was excited to see the many of you here, and really it is not, I would say, without great appreciation that you have joined this prestigious program during wartime. I hope you will spread the knowledge that you have gained from that program and from the Hebrew University and Hadassah, and spread it to your countries and actually to the entire world. So on behalf of myself and actually the entire management of Hadassah Medical Organization, again, I would like to congratulate you and also to thank the program leaders for this prestigious program that we are very proud of. Thank you and best regards. Thank you.
Thank you, Yaniv. I would also like to thank Ofer Rachamim, Chaim Ben David, Caroline Mandil, and Raid Shaheen from the Hadassah Housing Office for the wonderful accommodation and care provided to our students. The International MPH program is one of Brown School's academic activities, and it is the job of the school's director to oversee and advance the school on all its many fronts. It is my pleasure to invite Professor Ronit Calderon, the director of the Brown School and former director of IMPH.
Okay, thank you, Hagit. Professor Pikarsky, Professor Scherer, Professor Double-Me. Okay, thank you. Professor Hagit Ochner, Ambassadors Yossi Gal and Yaakov Kedar, Professor Gayer Paz, Sir Trevor Pierce, Miss Dina Gedron, my colleagues at the Brown School, alumni, families, friends, and last but not least, dear graduates. In Genesis chapter 12, it is written, "Now the Lord said to Abraham, go from your country and your kindred and your father's house to the land that I will show you. I will make of you a great nation, and I will bless you and make your name great." This is seen as the first great test of Abraham's trust, a call to leave everything familiar and step into the unknown. If Abraham follows this divine command and successfully passes this first test, God promises to bless him. Like Abraham, a year ago, you too left your countries, your families, and your homes. You came to Israel, to the unfamiliar Brown schools, and to new classmates. It has been a very intensive year, full of studies and credits, social and cultural activities. Many people that contributed to the success of this year and your success in training. Professor Hochner will thank most, if not all of them. But let me extend my heartfelt thanks to the one and only, your leader over the past year, Professor Hagit Hochner, the remarkable director of the IMPH program. This has been the last year of Hagit in this role, and what a great leader she was. I'm so grateful for her dedicated leadership, meticulous work encompassing all aspects of the program, and her sensitivity, wisdom, and grace as an enthusiastic and charismatic leader. So thank you, Hagit. Yeah.
Sorry. It's not part of the show.
As the school year ends, you become a new member or new members of the network of IMPH alumni, enriched with many life-changing experiences and lasting friendships. This year's graduation is particularly poignant. You arrived to Israel during a time of unprecedented challenges and uncertainty. You were unwavered by the conflict and decided to join us despite the war. Even your evacuation home was motivated by our concerns, not yours. I want to take a moment to acknowledge and deeply appreciate your resilience and determination to pursue your dreams even in such difficult circumstances. Your contribution to public health may be in research, policy making, health promotion, or management. Whatever you choose to do, and wherever you go, I'm confident that the knowledge you have acquired, advanced skills, and new connections will serve you in your efforts to make the world a better place by promoting the health of its population. Public health faces challenges shaped by politics and society, by environmental threats and climate changes, by new diseases, and by threats to women's rights. These will require your leadership. I hope this year will not only advance your careers, but also help you grow as public health leaders, locally, nationally, and globally. This is the blessing I wish for you. Go forward, save lives, and may you find happiness and fulfillment along the way. And finally, on the verge of the Jewish New Year, I wish us all a happy New Year, a year without wars, with better lives to all people, and with our hostages back home. Thank you so much, and good luck.
Thank you so much, Ronit, for your motivating word and for the surprise. It just, I have to get myself together. Yeah. Ronit will be concluding her term as director of Brown School next month. And on behalf of the school, I would like to express our heartfelt gratitude for steering our ship over the past 4 years through some of the most turbulent waters this country has ever known. Throughout this period, you remain fully committed to the values of public health and fostered a safe, stable, and supportive environment. For this, we are deeply grateful. I would also like to take this opportunity to wish Professor Chen Stein-Zamir, our incoming director, every success. Professor Alfredo Morabia is a distinguished professor of epidemiology at the Barry Commoner Center for Health and the Environment, Queens College, City University, New York, and a professor of clinical epidemiology at the Department of Epidemiology, Columbia Mailman School of Public Health. He has been editor-in-chief of the American Journal of Public Health from 2015 until recently. It is with great honor and appreciation that I invite Professor Morabia to congratulate our graduates.
So, since this is an international program, let me use my native language to congratulate you and say bonjour et félicitations pour l'obtention de cette maîtrise en santé publique. quelque chose de très important. So, frankly, it always makes me feel really joyful when I can be in that situation and congratulate newly graduates in public health, because I feel that the world now counts more population thinkers. And that's what you've acquired. You know, in this program, you became population thinkers. And population thinking is something that you cannot, you know, understand without being trained to. I mean, sometimes if you have access to large set of data, you can discover that there are realities that can only be understood at the population level. But otherwise, our human psychology is such that we don't realize that. And, you know, for 4,000 years, the greatest doctors, you know, didn't understand that dimension. And so why is it so important? It's important because what's public health? Public health is a collective response to a collective threat, and usually the type of threats towards which individuals are powerless. And when you are a population thinker, and I would love to see you, you know, all the graduates in front of me, it's a bit hard to imagine you like that, but anyway, when you become a population thinker, you understand how to identify those collective threats and how to identify solution, you know, the collective solution, because they only are possible at the population level. And let me give you an example, because in my view, despite, you know, criticism that we can have, the public health response to COVID-19 has been a tremendous success. You know, vaccines, and especially the vaccination campaign, you know, vaccines are useless as long as they are in the warehouse of the industry. They become useful if they are transformed into vaccination. And how do you do that? You have to carry them, and you know there are a lot of technical aspect to transport them. You have to train the people who are going to give the vaccine. You have to invite the people to your program. You have to register them. You have to keep, you know, a track of it. I mean, and this in multiple locations at the same time. And this is a skill that only population thinkers like you now can do. I always insisted as an editor that public health, you know, skills cannot be improvised. They can only be acquired through study and experience. So now there is a, when you look at the results, in Israel, in a few months, almost all of the population was vaccinated. That was an incredible achievement. But in the United States, in a few months too, the large majority of the population had been fully vaccinated. And if you take old people like me, well, 95% of the population was vaccinated. You know, people knew the vaccine worked, knew older people were at greater risk, and everybody did the job, whether they are red state, blue state, swing state, everywhere. And not only did we vaccinate hundreds of, you know, millions of people, but the side effects, the negative consequences of this campaign were minimal. You know, the side effects are counted per millions. And so how do you do that? How do you go and vaccinate hundreds and millions of people and get only a very few number of side effects? This is also something that you acquire as a population thinker. And as you know, the vaccine had been tested, and we knew that it was safe. So being able to approach millions of people with safe intervention is a skill that you will be able to actually apply wherever you are, thanks to your training and your master in public health. So just to conclude, I think that the greater pride, if you become public health professional, your greater pride, and I may repeat a little bit what Ronit said, will be to think that at the end you will have controlled diseases, avoided hospitalization and by the millions, and prevented deaths. And by doing this, you will do, and I agree with your expression, Ronnie, you will contribute to do what public health does. It is to make the world a better place. Thank you.
Professor Morabia, thank you so much. We're truly touched by your choice to come here and to greet our graduates. And this is something that we can discuss over dinner. There's a story to it. Thank you so much. Although the IMPH program is academically challenging, not to say overwhelming, it is complemented with a rich extracurricular program so that our graduates return home with a deeper understanding of Israel's professional, cultural, and geographic diversity. The graduates have prepared a short video to share with us the wide range of experiences they've had over the year. So sit back and enjoy. The 50th cohort, a story of dedication, resilience, and success.
One year ago, a group of students from across the globe landed Israel. Doctors, researchers, and dreamers, united by a shared purpose to improve global health. They challenged us, guided us, and stood beside us. Every concept we mastered was built on their dedication.
More than lecturers, they became mentors. A support system that made the journey possible. Yes.
They say the holy water's watered down, and this town's lost its faith. Time is running
Outside the classroom, we saw health challenges firsthand and imagined solutions.
Clinical mental health disorders we know.
It has been very evidence-based and the results were phenomenal.
Each project was more than an assignment. This journey gave us not just knowledge, but lifelong bonds. We came as strangers, but we live as a family.
Once upon a younger year, when all our shadows disappeared, the animals inside came out to play. Went face to face with all our fears, learned our lessons through the tears, made memories we knew would never fade.
How true this is. Public health does not know any borders. I think it would not be an exaggeration to say that the IMPH is the jewel in the crown of the Hebrew University's many international programs. This is also reflected in the steadfast commitment of two of the university's most important units to supporting our program: the Division of Advancement and External Relations and the Office of Internal Affairs. It is my pleasure to invite Ambassador Yossi Gal, Vice President for Advancement in External Relations and a close friend of the IMPH, to congratulate our graduates.
Thank you, Hagit. You know, ambassadors are infamous for making very long speeches without saying anything. This is not going to be the case today. From the first day I was introduced to this program, I make it a point not to miss any of these moving graduation ceremonies, and especially at a time like this. These are trying times for all of us in Israel, and our hearts and minds are someplace else, and we all hope and pray for an immediate change. 712 days have elapsed since that Black Saturday of October 7, and 48 of our children are still in the dungeons of Gaza, and we all hope to have them all, those who are alive, if you can call that a living, and the dead for burial. And at the same time, we also wish for a quick end to this war where our children are now. This time really makes public health even more important. Everything you see, everything we see happening around us really makes this discipline tremendously important. And I can assure you that as the management of this university, even though the times ahead are not going to be easy, we are committed to continue this outstanding work of sharing the outstanding knowledge we have here in Jerusalem with our friends and colleagues all around the world. And I can only reiterate what I've heard from so many of you, that, and this is the reason why this program appeals to me. You know, there are hundreds, if not thousands, of programs at this university. It appeals to me because this is the program that is aimed at making the world a better place to live in, and this is what you've been doing. And because of that, I can reiterate our commitment as management. I want to thank all of our partners and colleagues, I mean, from my colleagues from the management, from the faculty, from the Hadassah Hospital, Trevor and the Birth Foundation for everything, and the Foreign Ministry. And I'm very happy to see two of my colleagues. One of my colleagues is Yankele Kedar, Ambassador Kedar. Thank you very much for being part of this program. And Irit, I hope she's not here. She's on Zoom. Usually she's here and she keeps a distance because they promised to renew the 5 scholarships. I mean, and by the time we have this ceremony next year, I want to see the 5 scholarships being reinstalled, right, Irit? So thank you very much for everything you're doing and for the wonderful class of 2024-2025. Thank you. It's not taken for granted. Thank you for being part of this university and this Hadassah Hospital. This is an outstanding job. Toda rabba, Hagit.
Ronit, I'll say a few words on your behalf just before you speak. Don't worry, for the friendship and all the assistance. So thank you very much, Yossi, for your tireless efforts on behalf of the program. We know what you're doing for us. And I would also like to express our deepest gratitude to the director of the division, Mr. Ram Semo, Ms. Anat Yafe, Dr. Shalav Gadi, and all the wonderful and devoted team of external relations for the partnership. Thank you so much. And now, from the International Office, I'm excited to invite Professor Guy Arpaz, the recently appointed Vice President for International Affairs, to greet our graduates.
Dear friends and colleagues, I'm honored and delighted to greet you, the graduates of the 50th class of the IMPH. The IMPH and its graduates represent all what the Hebrew University is proud of: international research, teaching and collaboration, diversity, the interface between theory and practice, excellence, professionalism, leadership and integrity, the academic contribution to human beings, to communities, societies, and to humanity at large, tikkun olam, lifelong learning, and a very robust network of alumni working together to improve health and save lives. I wanted to express our gratitude to all those who contribute to this amazing enterprise: the Faculty of Medicine and its Dean, the Hadassah Hospital, the Brown School of Public Health and Community Medicine and its director, the IMPH, its staff and its director, Professor Hagit Hochner, Mashav, our distinguished guest, Professor Alfredo Morabia, and to the Peirce Foundation, Sir Trevor Peirce, Mark and David Peirce, Dina Gidron, for your long-term commitment, devotion, and generosity. And if I may abuse the floor, and thank you also for the contribution for the younger sisters of IMPH, local in Rehovot. Dear graduates, you came from 13 countries. You left your homes, families, careers, and communities, and came to Jerusalem. You proved throughout your year commitment, devotion, passion, professionalism, curiosity, integrity, and resilience, being able to overcome the challenging security conditions that prevail in our country. You overcame academic, professional, financial, and emotional challenges, and now you are distinguished graduates of the IMPH and the Hebrew University. Speaking about security conditions, and on a personal note, in the last 2 years we faced a horrible war, casualties, and immense human suffering. I do not believe that this is a force majeure. One of my strongest memories as a child was the historic visit of Anwar Sadat, the president of Egypt, to Israel, and the ensuing peace with Egypt. I truly believe that peace can prevail, provided that all of our leaders are committed to peace, and us, individuals and people, insist on controlling our past rather than allowing our past to control ourselves. Returning to you, dear graduates, we at the Hebrew University are very proud of your achievements and of the very fact that you are graduates and alumni of us. And I believe that you have all the reasons in the world to be proud of yourself. The Hebrew University was your academic and professional home throughout this year, and I very much hope that it will remain your home throughout your meaningful lives. I believe that none of us needed the COVID pandemic to appreciate that health, and in particular public health, is probably the most important domain of our lives. I'm delighted to contemplate about all the good professional deeds that you are about to perform in this domain, this time equipped with the knowledge acquired at the Hebrew University. Dear graduates, congratulations, Mazal Tov, and Hallelujah.
Thank you so much, Guy, for your inspiring words. I wish you great success in this important position, especially during these difficult times. And would also like to thank Professor Oron Shagrir, the previous vice president, for the close connection and support over the years, and to wish him good luck as the incoming rector of the Hebrew University. I would also like to thank Ms. Jane Turner and the international team for the joint work. The IMPH program was established in 1971 through the support of Mashav, Israel's Agency for International Development Cooperation of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Mashav has been a vital supporter of the IMPH program since its inception and a committed collaborator in many of our other global public health training activities. It is therefore with great appreciation that I call upon Ambassador Irit Savion, Deputy Head of Mashav, to bring greetings.
Okay. My apologies. I need to understand what happened to my computer. So again, dear graduates, I'll start with you. It's an honor and a pleasure to see you again. I had the honor to meet all of you in the classroom and to talk to you a little bit. Mashav, Israel's Agency for International Development Cooperation. Oh, what am I doing? Sorry. I'm not good at this. You came to Israel on a challenging time, as was mentioned by most of the speakers, and you shared with us those challenging days and times, and by that you became true ambassadors of Israel, true goodwill ambassador of Israel, learning about this special society, wonderful country of ours, and the resilience of its people. Part of public health is resilience and community resilience. So I hope you took with you, on top of all your studies and important studies, also this experience of a society resilience. Mashav, as Israel International Agency for Development Cooperation, was established, as I told you, in 1958. And we have been collaborating with this wonderful program of the master's degree for many, many years. As one of my biggest mentors from the beginning of my career, Ambassador Yossi Gal, said that ambassadors tend to talk too much. So I'll try not to do that. But I had the honor to accompany this program for the past 6 years, to see all the students and all the graduates during COVID, during the war in Israel, during many challenges. And you've all stayed, as I said, goodwill ambassadors and good friends of Israel. By graduating from this program, you become also alumni of Mashav. And as alumni of Mashav, you are entitled for micro grants in your countries for different projects, for your communities, in your fields that can support your community. Even from this group, there's already a beginning of collaborations, and I saw Mary from Nigeria, and thank you for being in the line with us, and thank you for insisting on creating this collaboration. Next year, we will celebrate here in Israel the Jewish New Year's. And in the spirit of those times, I want to wish you all a good new year. A year of good tidings that we all need so much. A year that all our hostages will be back, that this war will end. A year that you will be able to return and bring back from your studies to your communities. And a year that will bring happiness and peace to our country and to your countries. I want to send special thanks to the amazing team of the Brown School of Public Health, the International Master's Degree, Professor Calderon and Professor Ochner. Thank you so much for your friendship. I do apologize that I didn't know you're leaving, so I'm gonna miss you all very much. Thank you so much, Dr. Maureen Malwani and Dr. Yuda Neumark, who's been accompanying this program for many years. As I said, my colleagues and mentor, Ambassador Yossi Gal, and Ambassador Yaakov Kedar was in the room. And we met a few times in the past. Good luck, bon chance, and hope to see you again as soon as possible here in Israel. Thank you all.
Thank you so much. Now, the success of this program is based on people, passion, and commitment, and it is the commitment of our generous donors that I would like to now acknowledge. This commitment represents lifetimes of hard work, culminating in the desire to share and to promote global public health. We most gratefully acknowledge the scholarship received this year from the British and American Friends of the Hebrew University, and to thank their representatives, especially Mr. Nigel Solomon, who is a true friend of ours. Sir Trevor Pears and Pears Foundation have been our sponsors for over 20 years. And we would like to take the opportunity to express the Brown School's deepest gratitude for the long-standing friendship and support in the IMPH and its alumni. I would also like to express our deepest appreciation to Ms. Dina Gidron, Israel representative of Pears Foundation, for the professional and warm relationship you have had with us over the years. You can't just not love Dina, really. Yeah. I invite, maybe, yeah. I invite Sir Trevor Pears to address our graduates on behalf of Pears Foundation.
Need the microphone?
Yes.
Okay. Hello, everyone. I'm assuming this camera's kind of on, and I'm wave at the students or graduates. Hi, everybody. I'm absolutely delighted. Are they waving back? Brilliant. Thank you. Okay. Well, I'm going to miss you guys all dancing. In previous years, I've been dancing. I'm not going to have a go myself. So I'm absolutely delighted to be here today and to be able to pass on the warmest of greetings and wishes from myself, from my brothers, our wives, and our families. As you heard, we've been supporting this program now for over 20 years. Why, you may ask? The simple answer is because we love it. We love it because the Hebrew U and the course and everyone involved represents true excellence. We love it because of the consistent and extraordinary commitment of the faculty. We love it because we believe in the spirit behind the course's creation, and that this spirit represents the absolute best of what it means to be Jewish and what the state of Israel is all about. But most of all, we love it because of you, the students. We've had the pleasure and privilege of meeting so many of you over the years. Your passion, your dedication, your belief in and shared vision for a better and kinder world has always moved and inspired us. Our faith and belief in your predecessors, the hundreds of alumni, and now you, the graduates of 2025, are the reason why we have kept investing in this program for more than 2 decades. Today, therefore, we celebrate not only your academic success, but also your vision for a healthier and more equitable world. Now, obviously, it's been referenced a lot. This past year has been filled with challenges and heartbreak for so many here in Israel, in Gaza, across the Middle East, and of course around the world. Unfortunately, many of you had to leave Israel before the end of the school year due to the escalation of hostilities with Iran. And yet, through it all, you all chose to continue your studies at the Hebrew University of Jerusalem. Your original decision to come here, leaving your families and loved ones, traveling great distances, and dedicating yourselves to earning your master's degrees in public health took immense determination. And we are deeply inspired by your resilience and unwavering commitment to your studies, qualities that have shone through even when your final classes and exams had to be completed remotely. We are also simply profoundly grateful to the outstanding faculty and staff whose guidance, care, and dedication have been an anchor of knowledge and support throughout this extraordinarily challenging time. Thank you all. Also, thank you to Moshav, our partners, and thank you, I guess, for the creation of this scheme, for at least the 5, God willing, next year. Also, thank you to all the other donors. I feel I'm representing others who have been contributing to this program who aren't here, who I think are fellow travelers and are equally committed as we are. I hope that everyone here takes as much pride as my family does in all that you have collectively accomplished. Our family and foundation team represented in Israel, as you have heard, by our wonderful and indomitable and very lovable Dina Gidron, feel truly privileged to have been able to support you on this journey. As you step into the next chapter of your lives, we are confident you will shine brightly, leading with compassion, knowledge, and hope. This is only the beginning of the incredible impact that you'll go on to make, and we wish you every success and every happiness in the future. The world needs you, and we can't wait to see all that you will achieve. So many congratulations to you, and many congratulations to the program. 50 years is fantastic, and wish you also a Shana Tova.
Thank you so much, Sir Trevor. Just a small token of our appreciation. Thank you. In keeping with our tradition of inviting alumni to deliver the keynote address, we are honored to have with us today Dr. Noah Okongo Abudu, IMPH graduate of 2009 from Kenya. Dr. Abudu earned a medical degree from the University of Nairobi and has been a public health leader in various settings for nearly 2 decades. She has led transformative health initiatives focusing on HIV, maternal and child health, and sexual and reproductive health and rights, having worked with major donors including USAID, Gates Foundation, CDC, and the World Bank. She was more immediately the East Africa Director for Women Lift Health, where she expanded leadership programs across multiple countries. Dr. Abudu is also a certified professional coach dedicated to advancing women's and young people's leadership in health sectors regionally and globally. I turn to Dr. Abudu to share with us her view on public health leadership.
Thank you so very much. I will be standing certainly on all established protocols. Good afternoon, distinguished faculty, esteemed guests, proud families, and most important, the 2 decades. I feel very old, but of course, with experience and a lot of learning from colleagues and alumni as well. So it's really my great privilege to join you on this momentous day as you graduate. Being in Hebrew University, a place where your curiosity becomes knowledge and your knowledge simply becomes the power to change lives. Today, we celebrate your academic success, but more importantly, we honor your readiness to step into this world that urgently, and I really must emphasize, urgently needs your skills, your vision, and your courage. Times are different. So with that, I will just share with you some slides on what we're looking at in terms of leadership, because leadership has become very core in everything that we're doing right now. And I hope you can see my slides there. I want to talk about why leadership is important. I know we looked at the different health systems pillars, and we have done so much, whether it's looking at service delivery, whether we're looking at equipment and commodities, whether we're looking at financial systems, but leadership is core. It's something that we have not looked at, but is a very, very important pillar. So when we look at leadership in particular, there are different types of leadership that you have probably come across. There are people who are leaders and say that, I am the dean, or I am, the CEO, and it's very positional, but it really matters how we lead. It is very critical. At this time when there's so much change and so much transformation in the health sector, we are finding that you will be needing what we're calling transformative leadership and adaptive leadership. And the key thing around transformative leadership is that we come in to be able to learn, to be able to fail forward, because when you fail forward, then you can innovate. That you're able to inspire the teams that you work with and the people that you work with, that you can look at growth, both for individual and organizational at the same time. When we look at adaptive leadership, we are certainly looking at bringing in emotional intelligence, which is part of self-awareness and being situated in your style of leadership and the people that you're leading, a very important aspect. We look at the ethics of leadership. We look at the psychological safety and justice that we provide in the workplaces. Because at the center of everything that we are doing are humans. And we have to have a different approach in which we can inspire and move humans that we are, managing the system to meet our goals. And so we must have a compelling vision as a leader. And so even you as graduates, as we move forward, really, you are leaders in your own right. You do not have to wait to be a CEO or a deputy country director or a chief of party. You're already a leader in your right. And the sooner we start practicing the right leadership, the better it is so that we can achieve impact in everything that we do. Now, there are challenges. Certainly, we have not been having a very steady state, so to speak. But in leadership, challenges come in and challenges need solutions. And we've talked about this. We have come into Hebrew University, we have been equipped, but now we have to go in and lead. But you can only lead when you're bringing in solutions. And so when you're having this complex space, we're having very many interconnected issues. We need innovation and there must be resilience, which we've already demonstrated, even just by being in the program, and unfortunately, with the war going on. But some of these challenges that we've been seeing, of course, include global pandemics, coming off from COVID, but also just recently, another Ebola outbreak in the Congo. We have health equity issues. That still stands. Access issues are still plaguing our communities, from the rural to the urban, to the wealthy states, and to the what we're calling developing world. We are still having health equity issues. Climate change cannot be forgotten. It is not made up. It is real. We are seeing them in the catastrophes, in the hurricanes, in the flooding, in the droughts. It is present. We are seeing them. We are looking at issues around social cohesion, which we also saw very well during COVID, when it was very clear that the scientific evidence was there, what we need to do, but then there was a misinformation. So how fast do we move in terms of what we practice, our solutions, and how do we communicate on our scientific findings in time to challenge misinformation that has been and continues to deter our movement in terms of achieving what we need to achieve in public health. And again, we also have our digital disruption. We have AI coming in, we have telemedicine, we have data analytics. We have all that promising breakthroughs, I must say. But they also raise ethical questions that we must look at around privacy, equity, and trust. So these challenges remind us that health is not just a sector. It is the foundation of human security, economic growth, and global stability. So those are the challenges. And challenges, as I said, will always be there. But what is the magic here? The magic here, as I've seen as speak, of course, is around collaboration. And this is where we start to look at what is our role? What is your role? What is my role? And everyone has a role. Everyone has a contribution, no matter how small or big. But we have gone through so that we can be able to analyze problems and to create solutions. So I'm seeing you very much poised to leverage on digital health, to look at multi-sector collaboration and multi-country collaboration. So I'm excited to hear about the collaborative efforts that are already ongoing. And of course, to lead with empathy. Empathy as a word is not made up. It is everything centered in human considerations, ensuring that whatever we are doing has the human factor in mind. Just similarly, as I was saying in leadership, transformative leadership and adaptive leadership has the human at the center. We cannot disregard that because it's the human that is going to move the system and that the system is going to be resilient and high performing to achieve the impact that we intend to achieve. So our role is very clear. But from this day forward, as we go in, we might be having clinicians here, researchers here, innovators and policymakers, wherever we will fit. But as clinicians, I'd want us to remember that patients do not just carry the symptom, but there's another story. There's a family, there's a community, there's dignity that we still must ensure that we align to. They're researchers, your findings are important. Data and evidence right now is so critical. These are the instruments that we will use to shape our policies, save lives, and guide the leaders, because we cannot separate health from politics. We have to convince the leaders to use the evidence to make informed policies for us to impact lives. Innovators and policymakers, they're the ones who hold the balance of efficiency and equity. ensuring that progress does not deepen disparities, but instead closes them. That is the idea. So for me, as we move forward, I'm hoping that these principles may guide you, that equity does matter. A health system that leaves behind the poor, the marginalized, the vulnerable, cannot call itself successful in any way. Evidence matters because that's where decisions are made from. Decisions anchored in science and rigorous data will stand the test of politics and time. And collaboration matters. Right now, it was an individual program. You went through the MPH. It was an individual investment. The next step right now is everything collaboration. And I'm excited that we do have an alumni network. And I'm hoping to see you all in the alumni WhatsApp group, looking at how we can collaborate and learn from each other. And so health is not achieved by governments alone. It can't be. They have a mandate, yes, but they can't do it alone. But by the partnerships that we will have across borders, and which we have established indeed, that public health has no borders. It must not have borders. It must be partnerships as well across disciplines and communities and sectors as well, because we must appreciate the intersectionality between health and agriculture, health and climate, health and education, health and the road networks and infrastructure that are. Health is everywhere. And we must adopt that overall, bigger, higher lens so that we can achieve impact. And that is our role as we look at shaping the future. And for me, as I look at our call to action, certainly because this is where the rubber meets the road, I congratulate you once again. And I am certain that the faculty, the staff, alumni, friends of the Hebrew University and Israel are incredibly proud of your hard work and dedication. The world needs your intellect, but it also does need your empathy. The greatest leaders I know have combined these two, knowledge with compassion. And the other thing that I really want to emphasize on is the importance of trust. Trust is earned through humility. It is earned through integrity and service. It is the greatest currency right now. Let's imagine a future where our innovations will help in accessing life-saving vaccines, where your policies will strengthen resilience against climate-driven epidemics, where your research will shape a more ethical digital health future, for instance. And that is the world you're coming to help build. I would like you to imagine real leadership in itself that is transformative and adaptive, as I've mentioned, as we navigate the VUCA period. And VUCA meaning it's volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous. That is what we have been dealing with, a disruption. But right now, again, we are moving to this new terminology called BANI. And BANI now again brings in emotional intelligence, brings in the human factor and the human experience. And BANI in its initials, B-A-N-I, is brittle for B, anxious, A, non-linear, which is N, and incomprehensible, which is I, because this is where we're approaching so many shifts. Foreign assistance has changed. Epidemics have changed. There's violence, there's political rhetoric, all that, and we still need to deliver health. But where I want to also just focus on BANI, and as we look at these 4 words, brittle. It's a system that appears stable, but is prone to breaking down without any warning. And this is how we need to look at our health systems. How do we make them even more responsive, high-performing, and resilient? Anxious. Anxious is that pervasive feeling, and I know a lot of us feel it right now, of unease and distress due to constant changing and overwhelming nature of the world. And that is what is happening. How do we work around that? How do we take care of ourselves as public health individuals? Because only your mental health and wellness can help you to contribute in a collaboration and to impact health. The non-linear is around events and outcomes that are not easily predictable or proportional. So one small thing around, how do we work around that? And then incomprehensible, a sense of confusion and lack of understanding that makes it difficult to understand the world as we know it. And this is where we are. But shall we despair? No. I welcome the opportunity to have audacious hope. that we are not doing this alone and that we are a collaboration. The alumni is a collaboration. The faculty that we have is a collaboration. The partnerships we have right now is a collaboration. We cannot succeed without it. And so I want you to lean in, as I have on my alumni and the groups that we have, having graduated from Hebrew University. They have been a great network. And as you know, your network is your network. Everything right now for you moving forward is support each other, collaborate, find solutions from each other, and support each other moving forward. And so I want to say again in my closing, congratulations. May you go forth with courage to confront the world's health challenges, with wisdom to shape solutions that endure, because we want sustainable solutions, and with compassion, of course, to ensure that your impact reaches those who are most in need. The world is waiting, and I'm sure everyone here, your families, populations, because we are talking about population thinking, they're excited to see your future and what you will create. And with that, I will say thank you for this opportunity from faculty and alumni to have this conversation with you. Thank you very much, and I end with my keynote. Congratulations.
Thank you so much, Nora. You are a true inspiration to all of us here and to our graduates. And having this alumni network and knowing that we've only been able maybe to begin the journey of our graduates, but then they shift into that unbelievable and remarkable network with such an impact globally. That is really something that, brings us all a lot of comfort during these so difficult times. So thank you again for your words, and we wish to see you soon again in one of our regional meetings. Thank you, Nora. In 2018, our esteemed colleague, Professor Jeremy Kark, passed away. Jeremy was a worldwide renowned leader in epidemiology, with his contributions significantly advancing the fields of epidemiology and global public health. In his memory, Jeremy's wife, Professor Ruth Kark, and his family established the Jeremy Kark Legacy Prize for Academic Excellence. This year, the prize is awarded to Dr. Joseph Niero from Uganda in recognition of his outstanding academic performance in the research track. Jeremy's family could not join us today, but his children sent some words which I will read on their behalf. Firstly, we would like to warmly congratulate all the 2025 graduates for your dedication, endurance, and passion. What a year it has been. The International MPH program was established by our grandparents, Sidney and Emily Kark, over 50 years ago. Our beloved father, Professor Jeremy Kark, taught and supervised students in the program for many years. He loved the IMPH program, and especially its students, coming from all around the globe. We fondly remember the weekend afternoons and Shabbat dinners we spent as kids with our parents and grandparents, hosting the MPH students for afternoon tea at home and hearing their stories of passion, wisdom, and vision. Our beloved dad was born in 1943 and grew up in South Africa in the Zulu township of Folela, where his parents established the first pioneering community-oriented primary healthcare center. He always had a special place in his heart for Africa's beautiful people and nature. In his work later as a doctor, epidemiologist, scientist, and mentor to students, he always emphasized the importance of honesty, accuracy, and excellence in science. Our mother, Professor Ruth Kark, established his Excellence Prize in Jeremy's memory after he sadly passed away in 2018. We're sure that our father would be proud to hear that Dr. Joseph Niero from his home continent of Africa is awarded the Excellence Prize this year. All generations of the Kark family, from our visionary grandparents to our parents and children, would agree that you, the IMPH graduates, are all inspiring winners. We wish you success and happiness in your future work as pioneers and leaders that will be shaping public health globally. With our love, Ronit, Salit, and Guy Kalk, Jeremy's children. Thank you so much, dear Karks, and congratulations to you, Joseph.
Thank you so much for the award. I'm really honored, and I thank Professor Akak for the work that he did with the IMPH. And as someone who is growing into the world of public health, I really wish to step in his footsteps. Once again, I'm greatly honored to receive this prize. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Joseph. In 2022, Dr. Osnat Keidar passed away, and the Brown School lost a colleague and close friend. Osnat was an educator and professional in public health with unique expertise in health promotion in the education system. Osnat's husband, Ambassador Jacob Keidar, and her family founded the Dr. Osnat Keidar Memorial Prize. The prize is awarded this year to Dr. Elizabeth Yango from Cameroon in recognition of her excellent academic performance and for writing a master's paper with significance for health promotion. I invite to the stage Ambassador Jacob Keidar.
Ambassador Yossi Gal, dear faculty members, and dear graduates of the 50th class of the International Masters of Public Health Program. It is my great honor this afternoon to present to Dr. Elizabeth Yangu from Cameroon the Dr. Osnat Keidar Memorial Prize. The prize is in recognition of your outstanding academic performance in the field of health promotion in the International Master of Public Health Program. We give this prize so we may remember Osnat's many academic achievements and her love to the Brown School of Public Health and to her students. Unfortunately, her teaching and research career was cut short by her illness, and she passed away at the beginning of 2022. You may see some photos which give a glimpse of the work she did in the Nairobi slums. Osnat implemented a health promotion program introducing running water and hygiene in schools, thereby improving lives of thousands of children in Korogocho, one of the poorest areas in Africa. She is still remembered there as Mama Korogocho. She was able to use her professional abilities in Switzerland, where she worked in the main hospital in Bern, the Inselspital, as a researcher on health issues related to migrants, refugees, and asylum seekers. I'm happy to take this opportunity and to present to the Brown School Library a copy of a guidebook in German, this one, intended for doctors and professional medical use on the health of migrants and asylum seekers. Osnat was one of the 4 writers of the book, which was published this year. Osnat was a faculty member for many years, and her passion was was teaching the IMPH students and giving them knowledge and proper tools to use when they returned to their countries. I'm sure that she would have been proud to teach students like you, all of you present, well, at least virtually, here today. Congratulations upon your graduation, and make good use of everything you learned in the Hebrew University. And as we celebrate next week the Jewish New Year, I, and also my youngest son who is here, Asaf, wish you all Happy New Year. And to Israel and to its neighbors, I wish peace, quiet times, and bright future. Last but not least, let us pray for the hostages to be back home now. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you very much for this wonderful prize. I feel honored and I'm very, very grateful. Thank you.
Before we move on, I must take a moment to express my deepest gratitude to the outstanding members of our IMPH team. Ms. Natalie Poni Al-Khadat, Administrative Coordinator, Ms. Irina Siman, Academic Secretary, Dr. Ronit Zinreich, Brown School Academic Coordinator, and Ms. Adi Seri, IMPH Social Coordinator. Every year, we think it cannot possibly get more challenging, and yet every year it does. This year has been most challenging in so many levels, and without your full commitment and dedication, we could not have pulled through. You have provided our students with everything they needed, academically, socially, and emotionally, so that they could overcome all obstacles and complete the program successfully. I cannot thank you enough for all that you have done and continue to do, literally around the clock. And let me also take this moment to wish Adi a very happy birthday. Mazal tov, Adidi, we love you. Here in the backstage. I would like also to acknowledge and thank the tireless work done by Maureen Maloney, the IMPH Alumni Academic Coordinator, and Ms. Shira Nanavati, our Alumni Communications Coordinator, in maintaining close contact and professional collaboration with hundreds of our graduates and partners across the globe. Maureen and Shira are also working on our next alumni meeting that will take place in Abuja, Nigeria in February 2026, so please stay tuned. I would like to thank Ms. Edna Yoshpe-Perez, Ms. Odaya Ansbacher, and Mr. Harvey Sher, who go out of their way to help the IMPH in every way they possibly can. Finally, I want to extend our sincere appreciation to all the teachers, advisors, reviewers, and guest lecturers for being integral to this academic excellence. Your dedication and flexibility have been crucial to making this achievement possible, especially during this year. Thank you. I'm delighted now to invite Nema Dashina, one of this year's class representatives who took on this significant responsibility at the start of the year, to share a few words on behalf of the graduating cohort.
Good evening, Dean Faculty of Medicine of the Hebrew University of Jerusalem, Director of the Hadassah and Kerem Hospital, Director of the Brown School of Public Health and Community Medicine, Director of the International Master of Public Health Program, esteemed donors, honored guests, members of the diplomatic community, amazing faculty and incredible administrative staff of the Brown School of Public Health and Community Medicine, fellow alumni of the IMPH program, dear friends and loving family. It is with great joy that we gather this evening to celebrate the graduation of the 50th cohort of the International Master of Public Health Program. For over 5 decades, the Brown School of Public Health has been committed to producing public health experts with the mission to advance the welfare of communities worldwide. Today, as we graduate, we join that legacy as passionate professionals ready to tackle complex health challenges. We came from different parts of the world, each with unique experiences and aspirations. Our journey through the IMPH program has been very transformative. It has been a story of dedication, resilience, and success. Throughout our studies, we immersed ourselves in a broad spectrum of public health disciplines. The challenging coursework and lively discussions have not only broadened our knowledge, but also taught us the incredible impact we can make when we work together. Beyond our studies, we embraced every moment. We wandered the calm streets of Ein Kerem and Abu Ghosh and admired the vastness of history of the old city of Jerusalem. We laughed together by the shores of the Mediterranean Sea. We floated in the Dead Sea, did scuba diving in the Red Sea, had a swimming competition in the Sea of Galilee, and enjoyed the greenery of the Jordan River. In Eilat, we had a blast, and during Shabbat and Pesach dinners, We connected over warm meals and beautiful songs. We learned culture and history through our hosts, walking out of Yad Vashem into the streets celebrating Purim, finding so many reasons to celebrate the gift of life. Birthday cakes and chicken cookouts brought us closer, while visits to places like Shalva and Yad Sarah showed us how small acts of kindness can grow into nationwide services to vulnerable populations. During the orientation period, we were briefed that the Israeli sky gets loud sometimes, and it did, more than we ever imagined. The loud skies and sirens tested us in ways we never expected. Our late-night talks and nights in bomb shelters drew us closer together, enabling us to find stability through the uncertainty. When the political unrest forced us to leave campus early, we switched to Zoom classes, overcoming every obstacle to finish our degrees online. Amid so many hurdles, the steady framework of our program and support from one another helped us persevere. We offer heartfelt gratitude to the IMPH administrative staff, our steadfast pillars. You worked tirelessly to ensure the most excellent experiences. You listened, addressed our concerns, and supported us. For all you have done, thank you very much. To the donors and sponsors, your generosity creates a ripple effect, empowering us to build healthier communities worldwide. Your support has made this moment possible, and for that, we are deeply grateful. To everyone around us who dedicated their time and resources to assist, enable, and empower us to reach this moment, thank you very much. To my fellow graduates, the class of 2025, the 50th cohort, congratulations. May our journeys ahead be guided by purpose, compassion, and enduring impact. I would love to quote one of the founding fathers of Tanzania, Mwalimu Julius Nyerere, the philosopher of Ujamaa socialism. He said, "Our unity is our strength, and our cooperation is our future." As we move forward, let us hold on to the valuable lessons we have learned from the challenging times we have experienced, some of which are to serve communities with resilience, compassionate leadership, and evidence-based solutions. Thank you very much for listening, and may you experience peaceful and pleasant graduation celebrations. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Neema. It was amazing. Again, we miss you. The graduation of the 50th IMPH class is a milestone that invites us to reflect on the program's journey over the years. And who could do it better than Yehuda? I have the pleasure of calling to the stage Professor Yehuda Newmark, former director of the IMPH and the Brown School, current head of the Authority for Research Students, and most importantly, and actually informally, our school's charismatic coordinator for external relations.
The person who's standing between you, dear graduates, and your graduation and your degrees, I will try to be brief. Hagit gave me an hour and a half. I'll try to keep it shorter. The situation that we are experiencing and that has brought us to hold this convocation ceremony in this distant format is indeed challenging, as perhaps as never before. But we don't have the luxury of losing hope or of losing optimism. And Ronit, there is a tomorrow. And the tomorrow will be beautiful. The legacy of perseverance and optimism is part of the DNA of this program and the university. The university was established in 1925, 100 years ago. And at the ceremony of the opening of the university, Lord Balfour gave a speech in which he said, "This land, as I've already reminded you, has been the seed plot of great religions. Its immortal claim to the gratitude of mankind mostly rests upon that. But it has had the effect of making this little country the scene of endless disputes, endless differences, and endless controversies. These differences, I know well, are inevitable. We have to expect them, we ought to minimize them, but we cannot deny that they exist. And we cannot hope that they will not be lasting. But the great happiness of endeavor on which we are all engaged at this moment, the endeavor to found a new university on worthy lines, that endeavor need not be interfered with and ought not be interfered with by those ancient sources of differences which have so unhappily divided mankind. Science, at least, is outside these sectarian differences. Learning is a bond which unites all mankind, all men of adequate instruction in all parts of the world." 1948, the establishment of the state, and also the terrible massacre on Mount Scopus, in which 77 members of the faculty and staff of the university and the Hadassah Hospital were murdered, and made Mount Scopus inaccessible to students, to staff, and to university activities for many years. 1948 drew to a close with Mount Scopus still inaccessible, with the university students still in the Army. The new academic year should normally have opened in November. The date of the opening in November was announced, all preparations were made, but when the day arrived, no opening ceremony took place. Some 500 students were discharged from the Army, and the new academic year eventually opened in April of 1949. This is the first cohort of the medical school of demobilized soldiers still in uniform as they began their medical studies. And here we are, celebrating 100 years of this glorious institution, and 50 miles per hour, 50 years of the IMPH. So I reflected back to the opening of the program, to the first cohort in 1970-71. And this is not a comprehensive review of the people who took place in that and subsequent courses, but selective, including Margaret Schwen from 1971, from the opening course from Swaziland. In her letter of application, she described studying at Wits University in South Africa and being in the presence of people like Mervyn Susser and Zena Stein and Sidney Kark. So how did she get to Swaziland if she was in Johannesburg? So she was an activist, anti-apartheid activist, and she and about 500 other women were arrested and hounded by the apartheid authorities. So she left South Africa and moved to Swaziland. Here's a letter from the Minister of Health of Swaziland thanking the Israeli government for the scholarship that they provided and will hopefully continue to provide to our students. She had extensive correspondence with Sidney Kark and others at the school. Right from the outset, she wrote, "I wish to express my sincere thanks to all of what you have done for me personally, my people." She describes a day, Women's Day, a National Women's Day, in her country where she was expected to come in academic attire, so she sewed herself a blue and white hood and wore that on the day as a public demonstration of faith pro-Israel. She goes on to describe in very emotional terms the gifts that she received from the Johannesburg Jewish community that paid for her medical studies, and then the scholarship that she received to come to the IMPH. It turned out when she returned, she was the first black qualified in public health in the country, and she was met with some resistance by her superiors. She goes on to explain that she took over the program of bilharzia and malaria. She was in charge of the medical services for the army and the royal family and so on and so forth, and she did amazing work. And in February 2015, in our newsletter, IMPH alumni newsletter, the 40th year, we expressed appreciation. We had learned that she had passed a few years earlier, and she turned out when she was also the fourth black woman to obtain a medical degree in South Africa. And then she came to study with us. Another member of that opening cohort, Praveet from Thailand, also in constant communication. And here, Batya Slonim writes to him, I don't know if you get news of Israel, but this is a very exciting time for us with talks of peace with Egypt and hopefully with other Arab countries surrounding us. We pray the end of wars here and elsewhere. It took another 2 years until the peace treaty was signed with Egypt, but it did come, and it will be persevere and it will sustain. Femi Soyinka from Nigeria, and in a letter between Sidney Clark and him, Sidney writes, I personally am very sorry about this, but the political decisions by African states following the October War, this was in '74, were the cause that there will be few students from Africa, no students from Africa in the upcoming cohort, and few in the coming years. Femi passed away in 2022 after a very illustrious career, and we had the opportunity of going back to Ileife in 2016 for our alumni conference and meeting him. There he is in the lower left-hand corner between Ora and Maureen. So, doors open, doors close. The class of 73. One member of the class of 73 from Eritrea. I'm very sorry for the no war, no peace situation you're still in. I'm always with my transistor, even where I am now, following everything. I wish you the best for peace. On the whole, shalom to you, all from my small tent until I write some other time. Let us all pray and hope for peace. And here, jumping to 1991, I'm almost done. Here's the class, the cohort of 1991 with the Goffins in their home. They haven't changed much since then. And here the same cohort during the Gulf War, which shrunk considerably because most went home. Some stayed, and here they are in the home of the Newmark family. I haven't changed. My kids grew up a little more, but and here they are carrying their gas masks to class with Annika. And Martz came to visit us on several occasions. She's one of our most favorite students of all times. The class that survived Saddam Hussein's Scud missiles and brought home gas masks as souvenirs. Pinar from Turkey. I hope that you and your family are well. The unfortunate things that are happening in Israel are very painful to all of us. I just hope and pray that peace will come to the Holy Land soon. This was not written today. And yes, there is room for hope. This is an article that was just published. Ted Tolchinsky and colleagues, Aaron Trone and others. And Ted wrote, even in the face of conflict, public health has long served as a bridge between communities. This shared legacy is not only a testament to what was possible, but a call to action for what must be renewed. Including Yahya Abid, who studied in the 1978 cohort from Gaza, went on to a very illustrious career. He did a PhD at Hopkins. He was the founding dean of the School of Public Health at Al-Quds University. And he is in Gaza where he has been since the beginning of the war, set up health stations in various places, and had had the opportunity to leave but hasn't left, and he's heading up a team of a couple of hundred volunteers and others doing what public health does in the face of challenge. Dr. Leon Epstein in Manila in 1975 at the WHO meeting of schools of public health next to the representatives of Iraq and Iran. And in 1972 in the second cohort, our student from Iran. And we can only hope that more will come in years to come. Never doubt that a small group of thoughtful, committed citizens can change the world. Indeed, it is the only thing that ever has. And I close with this quote from Jan Smuts from South Africa. From Mount Scopus may shine a light which will illuminate a whole area of mankind, which has for long sat in darkness. Not for Israel alone, but for a large human group of mankind. The university may supply the opportunity and the stimulus to join in the forward movement, which will surely follow on the commotions and wars which have been our lot in this revolutionary age. This is the wish of all men of goodwill, of all who wish to see good arise out of evil, who believe in man and his divine mission, and who believe that out of the miseries in which the Near East has had its full share may arise new strength and inspiration for the causes which will bring regeneration to it and to the rest of the world. It started with the vision of these people, the founders of the Faculty of Medicine, and you can now study hope in Jerusalem. Kashe, aval ein brera. It's difficult, but we don't have a choice. Thank you. Congratulations.
Thank you so much, Yuda, for uncovering these IMPH historical treasures and sharing them with us. I have to admit that I'm a bit torn between despair and hope, but we'll stick with hope. Dear graduates, we have finally reached the moment that you have been long awaiting, receiving the Master of Public Health degree. Because we're about to be kicked out of the Eurovision, we're now doing whatever we can to. Okay. So unfortunately, our graduates are not here to receive their diplomas in person. However, they have received it electronically by Irina just a couple of hours ago. They prepared a short video so we can get to know them a bit better.
Hello, my name is Elizabeth. I'm from Cameroon. What I learned about myself this year is that I don't like pictures, no videos, but it looks like in public health you can run away.
Hello, my name is Chisenga. I'm from Zambia. This year I learned I can adapt quickly to new environments and cultures. And I also learned a great deal about innovation and collaboration.
Hi, my name is Just David Uiteka from Burundi. This year I learned about the power of collaboration across borders and cultures, and about myself that my strength is in building bridges and not just analyzing problems.
Hello everyone, my name is Ngodingwa Esther Elimno. I come from Cameroon. Through this year's mountain hike, I learned that I can conquer challenges by facing my fear.
My name is Picado from Ethiopia. This year I learned a lot on how to work with the diverse teams and also get an insight about Israeli culture.
This is Fortunate from Uganda. This year I learned to be resilient, considering that it's a stepping stone that transforms challenges into a success. Thank you.
My name is Ase David Jr. I'm from Liberia. This year I learned a practical strategy to work with the diverse team members with the understanding that each member's opinion counts.
Hello, my name is Joseph Nyara. I come from Uganda. During this year, I was able to learn that I'm resilient. I was also able to learn that I am capable of remaining calm in conditions of high pressure. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Katarina. I come from Slovakia.
And during my IMPH studies, I learned to think beyond local health issues and think more globally.
Hello, I'm Zinayan Jurune from Cameroon.
One thing I learned this year while living in Israel with my colleagues is the diversity of the different cultures, where my colleagues originate, and the strength of living together and appreciating the value of human connections.
Hi, my name is Leon Josiah, and I'm from the Twin Island state of Antigua and Barbuda. And one thing I learned about myself whilst in Israel was that even though the program was intense, I have the fervent ability to work immensely under pressure.
Hello, my name is Gohidi Mary Andy. I am from Nigeria. This mission of a master's degree in public health at the Hebrew University has shaped my course in diverse ways. Today, I consider myself armed with a more resilient perception of purpose, a more refined set of competencies, and a widened outlook. I now know what it means to build bridges and to keep moving forward even when things feel so much. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Dr. Sophia Nchimbi. I'm from Tanzania. This year I've learned how to be part of my community, how to diagnose my community, and how to treat it. Thank you very much.
Hello everyone, my name is Dr. Rilkes Abdulgawed from Ethiopia. The biggest thing I have learned this year about myself is that I can adapt and live with people from different background and culture. Then lastly, that I can manage to live without India for a few months. Thank you.
My name is Nema Dashina. I come from the United Republic of Tanzania, and this year I have observed admirable levels of resilience amongst the Israelis. I have learned that no matter what happens, you have to keep on moving forward.
Hi, I am Sat Nuela from Cameroon. This year has been a year of growth and discovery for me. I have learned to trust myself. My stay in Israel has taught me to carry a mindset of resilience and adaptability into every situation.
My name is Kujo Richard from Ghana. I've learned working in a multicultural class with peers from other countries and also learn new academic and culture in Israel.
Hello, I'm Ronald Kombe from Tanzania. This year I learned that stepping out of my comfort zone helped me to discover resilience and confidence that I didn't know I had.
I'm Shara, I'm from London, and this year I learned the importance of working together with different types of people from different countries all over the world.
Hi, I'm Yusuf from Ethiopia. This year taught me more than theory. I learned resilience, collaboration, and different cultures. IMPH also shows me every change starts with an us, and I'm ready to carry forward its. Congratulations, colleagues. Thank you.
Hi everyone, this is Sosangrat from Myanmar. This year I learned the value of teamwork, and for the first time I cooked for myself, and I really enjoyed it.
Beautiful. I would like to announce that Elizabeth Yango is graduating summa cum laude. Joseph Niero, magna cum laude. Milkias Hapte Gabriel, magna cum laude. Sanuela Awachwi, magna cum laude. Fikaduf Beaben, magna cum laude. And Sausengrat, magna cum laude. Congratulations. I would like to thank our colleagues in Givat Ram campus, Associate Dean Ms. Michal Chai Atias, Ms. Nava Marciano, and campus personnel for their assistance. I'm especially grateful to Mr. Amiran Bechori, Mr. Michael Shriki, and our multi-talented Adi Seri for so skillfully orchestrating this complex multimedia operation. We're here 2 days, really. So as you heard already, I will be stepping down. I would like to wish great success to Professor Elliot Berry, former director of the Brown School and longtime teacher and supervisor in the IMPH that will be taking over. As you know, nobody leaves the IMPH once they're in, so I'm here with anything. Just let me know. Thank you, Elliot. And just before we finish, dear class, you have now reached the end of a year filled with hard work and accomplishments, overcoming threats and even fears. Today, you begin the next chapter of your journey as public health professionals. To cite Professor Morabia's talk earlier this week, for the public health approach to be effective, it must be fair, democratic, universal, and science-based. Yet it seems that these crucial values are under attack around the globe, including in our own countries. Too often, political leaders fail to prioritize health, well-being, social justice, equity, and fairness. These failings might discourage us from doing our work, from believing that we can make a change. Paulo Freire, Brazilian educator and philosopher, observed that the sense of incapacity to change one's reality is the very hallmark of oppression. It is thus our professional duty to insist that change is possible and to see the challenges around us as a call for action, as Nora said.